Hi folks, once again it's Mike. Say, you remember yesterday when I was talking about people who just vote for the Democrats even though they've really just never done anything for them? Well, apparently here's a case where a Democratic Congresswoman didn't bother to bring her brain to the floor of Congress. Let me explain to you what happened. Just file this under "you can't write comedy like this," okay? So, Congresswoman Sheila-Jackson-Lee, who is a Democrat, and she's from Texas. I want to say the Houston area, but I might be wrong about that. I keep getting her confused with Barbara Lee. Okay, this is Sheila-Jackson-Lee from Texas. I keep getting her confused with Barbara Lee from Berkeley, California. They I don't know, they're just kind of both on the same team, so I get them confused. Anyway, what happened was the Republicans in Congress sponsored a bill that would allow the Congress to sue the president for not following the Constitution. And what this bill would do would be actually to speed up the process, to allow the process to go forward quicker. And of course, the Democrats are very much behind that, and the Republicans are very much for it. But you know, were it George W. Bush in office, the Republicans would be very much against it, and the Democrats would be very much for it. See what I mean by both sides are crazy? I mean, they are lockstep with each other, which means they are lockstep crazy. Okay, just gone, all of them. Anyway, what happened was that she's on the floor of the Congress, and she's speaking in opposition to this bill, which you would expect, right? So what she said was, she wanted to thank her GOP colleagues, okay, she says, for giving us an opportunity to have a deliberative constitutional discussion. And they use that phrase a lot. Deliberative constitutional discussion. Number one, makes them sound really intelligent. And number two, makes it sound like they're really saying something, when all it really means to say is it lets us chew the fat just a bit. A deliberative constitutional discussion, and she says, that reinforces the sanctity. Now, there's that word sanctity. It refers to religion, which the government's not supposed to be talking about, specifically Christianity, and within that, specifically the Catholic Church, because that's where the saints are. It's Catholicism. Anyway, the sanctity of the nation, and what did she say? It's like how well it operates, or how nice it is that it has lasted, that the Constitution of the United States has lasted some 400 years. That's right. She said 400 years. A congresswoman who, she's not a newbie. She's been there a long time. She has dealt with the Constitution every day of her professional career as a congresswoman. She says the Constitution is 400 years old, and said that it clearly defines what is constitutional and what is not. She's saying that this law the GOP is proposing is not constitutional, and 400 years is the history, which means that the United States Constitution was written about 200 years before. Well, let's just say give or take 200 years before it actually was. The Constitution was adopted in 1787. Anybody in 8th grade knows that one. And what it means is that the Constitution of the United States of America was adopted in the English colonial period of time, the same year Pocahontas married John Rolfe. Okay? At the time, the governor of the Jamestown colony, okay, the Jamestown, Virginia colony, that colony that is now 8 feet underwater, the oldest colony in the United States. So apparently Pocahontas drafted the Constitution, I guess. Anyway, to make it even worse, I don't know. I mean, this just proves these people are just crazy, just batshit crazy. She got up and she was speaking about it, and just really this impassioned speech about this 400-year-old Constitution and how it's unconstitutional to make the president obey the law. Hello, enforce the law. You know what I'm saying? It's unconstitutional to make the president enforce the law. But at any rate, the GOP won. I mean, it was strictly along the lines of, there's more Republicans than Democrats in the House, and so whatever that mixture is, it's 230 something to 150 something, 160 something, whatever that breakdown is. 435 members of Congress. There's more Republicans than Democrats, so you do the math. Whatever that breakdown is, that's how it fell. And interestingly, it'll go to the Senate, which will probably not approve it. They'll probably knock it down. The president already said today he's going to veto it if it comes to him, because obviously it puts him in the catbird seat if he doesn't veto it. But apparently we have a congresswoman who believes that the Constitution is 400 years old. Just like Chris Rock, who believes that slavery has lasted 400 years in this country. Or that it lasted 400 years in this country. And I guess that's what you get for listening to people like Sheila-Jackson-Lee and Chris Rock. Slavery having ended in 1865. That means it would have started in 1465, just 27 years before Christopher Columbus invaded the island of Hispaniola, which is now Dominican Republic and Haiti. So, apparently we had slavery, American government-sanctioned slavery, hundreds of years before there was a United States. And we had a constitution hundreds of years, or nearly 200 years, before there was a official United States government. So, just to review, Constitution 1787, Sheila-Jackson-Lee, batshit crazy. Have a nice day.